Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Thursday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We've begun the month of August with, so far, a pullback here. A 2-3 day pullback developing at the moment. This is exactly what we were looking for heading into the new month. As a matter of fact, on Monday, which was the last trading day of July, we mentioned that there could be a pullback here into the pivot range below. And once that occurs, are we able to find some sort of reaction or rejection that would then become a buying opportunity back toward the recent highs and maybe even through those highs for new highs ahead? This market has been extremely bullish, has been able to shake off weakness, but right now all eyes on the previous session's low. Can price push back above the previous session's low, especially above 45.35, and that'll open up a return back to the midpoint of the previous session. And if price can close beyond that mid, it opens up a quick return that could take us back up toward 46.50, at least in the very short term, as we develop an expanding range and perhaps build out at these highs. So that is the early bullish idea. Obviously, at the moment, the market's developed a narrow range at these lows, or relatively narrow here at these lows, and could be looking at further weakness ahead if it cannot get it back above that 45.35 zone. If it can't get back above 45.35 or 45.50 especially, this thing starts to open up a bit more weakness down below. Today, again, how much weakness could be seen? It could be, if we do break through that previous month's mid and open it up, it could be very similar to the previous session in terms of range, if not a bit bigger. But as of right now, watching the previous session's low, watching this midpoint here, looking for a bounce back up. If it can get above 45.35, it opens up some upside in the near term. We take a look at the NQ. The NQ has also pulled back here to begin the month of August. You also see a push through the previous month's midpoint, relatively narrow month here as we pull back. This would be the next key level here if it can't get back above the previous month's midpoint. Again, very bullish uptrending market. We've seen a narrow range develop at these highs, and we pushed now through the bottom of that range. Is price going to be able to recover? So again, very similar to the ES here. If this market can push back above the 15,450 level, it opens up some upside back to the previous session's midpoint and perhaps beyond. To close above the previous session's midpoint here would open up a return that could take us back to 16K for a big test and maybe beyond. But again, even if we swing back to the previous highs, we could see another dump back down as this thing builds a bigger range at these highs. That's the alternative to a major sell-off. And again, we haven't seen much heavy selling pressure lately, but we have reached some significant edges in the charts, but we have also fallen shy of the previous year's highs. So do we get one more rotation to go get the previous year's highs, or do we start to melt down from here? That's a big question right there. We're keeping an eye on the previous session's low for a shot at a push back into the previous range. We take a look here at crude oil. This one's up big right now, rallying at the moment. Lifted off just minutes ago here. The upside move beginning with a failed new low. Big time failed new low at the previous session's low here, and already returning back through the previous session's midpoint. A tremendous reaction and rejection, developing a bullish PivotBoss thrust reversal developing as well. Right on schedule here. Very, very strong move, shaking off any kind of potential sell-off here and able to bounce off to 73. So if price can close through this previous session's midpoint here today, that'd be big. To fall back below and fall back below 80.5 would not be a bullish sign at all. At the moment, big time outside reversal yesterday, a failure to hold above the previous year's close, which is this blue dotted line. That's the one to watch here. Maybe we go get 83.50 and fail, but if we start to give up the blue dot here, that opens up a return that can take us as deep as 74 in the very near term. All right, let's take a look here at gold futures. Gold has been a bit bearish here lately. The daily ranges have actually been increasing. Rollover gap took us way up here through 2000, and 2000 was that edge initially. Down here, when we started to fail on this day and this day here, through these midpoints here, the idea was we might squeeze back above 1940, and if we do, we hit 2000. But once we do, we could be stuck in this range again, and you can see it's pretty much played out in that way. Major gap up through it, but then falling back into the range, and now it's kind of stuck between 1940 and 2000 at the moment. We do have an uptrending price action that is happening. This uptrend is a little bit of an expanding envelope of volatility right now. So to come back at this edge here, you can see each successive wave higher has been bigger and bigger. The next one could be bigger still. Are we headed to 2040 up ahead? So keeping an eye on this edge over here. If a nice reaction or rejection occurs off the 1960 level, we could be looking at an 80-point rally up ahead toward 2040. All right, lastly, taking a look here at the YM. The YM with a super narrow range over the last 10 sessions or so, 9 or 10 sessions, and very significant selling pressure the previous session, not quite as big as the ES or the NQ, but dropped it all the way back down within the trading range here, very similar to last Thursday as well. Right now we're testing the bottom edge of this range in a very mature up move. Again, anytime you test the bottom edge of the range in an uptrend, there's an opportunity for a trap and reversal, not only back to highs, but new highs beyond that. So again, watching this edge over here, a push beyond 35,380. 35,380 starts to open up some upside up ahead. If that fails to happen, we're looking for some sign of reaction or rejection on the lows. So watching for more weakness until reaction occurs. But right now, any push into this pivot range from above within the uptrend is still an opportunity to defend until proven otherwise. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.